The biggest move on Bitcoin is still yet to come, and on today's update video, I will be talking about my take profit target on this massive Bitcoin trade I am currently taking. Also, I will give a gigantic update about what currently is happening on the imminent short term. I'm gonna do some in-depth analysis about what I think is gonna be happening next, about why I'm gonna be taking profits at a certain level, and many more important stuff. So without any further ado, don't forget to once again slap up that like button back above 1,000 likes on today's update video. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the imminent short term to discuss all the things that are going on, including the breaking news. And of course, the most breaking news we currently have out there is that yes, for the second time running, we've seen actually inflows on the GBTC spot Bitcoin ETF, and this is actually quite interesting. And yeah, like I said many times before, this ETF money is, in my opinion, particular dumb money, because every single time once we are seeing Bitcoin going down, they are selling, and once Bitcoin is going up, they're buying. So I don't really should be looking at this as an all too important metrics, but it is actually interesting to see what currently is going on over there. But over the course of the weekend, we created that Bitcoin CME futures gap, and actually after we saw a massive pump towards the upside, yesterday we came down, we filled up that CME gap, and now we're bouncing back towards the upside, and Bitcoin is hovering around the same price like we were yesterday. So does a lot of things has been happening? No, not really. And actually still, like I discussed in yesterday's video, this most important region, the 64.5k, has still not broken above of, and this is what I was expecting. I mean, I was expecting a similar consolidation like we saw over here. We're currently seeing something very similar. Bitcoin, of course, at the V-shaped recovery right now is consolidating below resistance. And honestly, the chart is still looking extremely bullish. And what we saw is an ever so slight fake out to, of course, squeeze out the long positions that just got entered and fool a lot of traders out there. And still, while this is happening, we're seeing the funding rates being negative, which means that the majority of the traders are trading short. And that, of course, makes me extremely bullish. But make sure to stick in this video, because I'm going to be doing some in-depth analysis on Bitcoin on the imminent short term, and about why I'm going to be taking profits anytime soon on this trade right here. And I'm going to exactly talk about my targets as well. So make sure to continue watching in the video. But currently, what we can see is that Bitcoin, of course, broke that massive downtrend that we had on that 4 hourly time frame. Bitcoin then flipped it into support right here, bounced towards the upside, boom, tested it again, and once again bounced towards the upside. So this is a very important level you should be paying attention towards, and I do still believe that Bitcoin, its next move is going to be upwards. And why do I think so? So currently, if I'm looking at that 4 hourly chart on Bitcoin, first of all, we need to be identifying this trend, right? So we're trading in this larger time frame trend here. This is approximately like a 60-day consolidation phase, and basically if we're looking to the high and low, the low is sitting around 56.7k and the high is sitting around 73.7k. So if we're going to be looking at the VPVR, so the volume profile range, we can straight away identify that the majority of the resistance for this market is, of course, where the most volume is traded, and that is going to be around this red box right here. So the 70,000 US dollars is going to be a massive level for Bitcoin to be breaking above of. Of course, we can already see that we saw massive rejections from over this level right here, also right here, and also once we broke above it, we saw loads amounts of volume getting traded around this level. So if Bitcoin were to be, of course, breaking above this region right here, the next stop is most likely going to be 70 to 71,000 US dollars, and I'm really expecting there's going to be a lot of resistance around that level. So it would make a lot of sense to, of course, potentially take some profits off the table right there. And if I'm also looking about where the liquidity is really being built up in the market, it is also that we can see that around that 70k level, there are going to be approximately 7 to 8 billion US dollars worth of liquidations. And yes, the first stop of the massive liquidations are going to be laying around 67.3k. So yeah, there are going to be a lot of liquidations if we're going to be going up here. But of course, I do really think that in this region we're currently trading in, the most important range to break above of, if we really want to be seeing Bitcoin go towards new all-time highs, is 70,000 US dollars. And on that imminent short term, what we need to be breaking above of is, of course, the previous range high here. So yeah, these are the most important levels I'm currently identifying. And if I'm then going to be zooming out here and going to the weekly time frame, because I'm really expecting we're going to be having another continuation upwards for Bitcoin, where do I want to be taking big profits on my trade? I'm going to be looking at the Fibonacci on that weekly time frame, and I think that 83.5k is going to be the first extension level above the all-time high, which I do really believe is going to be providing somewhat of a significant resistance for Bitcoin. So my full take profit target for this trade right here is going to be 83.5k here, and that is the point where I'm going to be taking 100% profits. I mean, if it hits 83.5k, I'm already making more than like $400,000 or $500,000 from off this trade, which would be quite insane if you would ask me. So yes, this is my strategy where I'm planning to take massive profits. I mean, I'm still expecting there's going to be a bounce happening on the imminent short term, because if you're just clearly looking about what Bitcoin is doing, it is creating a V-shaped recovery in this downward sloping trend, and we're breaking out of the falling wedge pattern, which is a bullish bias continuation pattern. And if you're zooming out even more, you can clearly see that we're trading in a clear bullish trend, with liquidity being built up on the top side, with funding rates being negative. It just is so likely that Bitcoin is going to be going higher, and that is why I don't want to be taking profits on my trade right now, and that is why I do believe Bitcoin is going to be going higher ultimately. And looking at the weekly time frame as well, we're just creating a massive hammer candle, and that is just extremely bullish in my opinion, and most likely we're just going to be seeing that recovery back towards the upside. So I am not going to be selling in my Bitcoin anytime soon, and if you want to be trading your Bitcoin like I am, make sure to check out Bybit, because Bybit is the exchange where I'm trading myself. So if you want to be getting a free $200 trade, you can currently claim it in the link description of today's video. Just go to the link description in the video, press on the link below, and you can claim a free $200 trade for only signing up an account and depositing $100 in your first 7 days. So my target is going to be 83.5k as first take profit, and I'm going to take some partial take profits, which you can also do on Bybit, around that $70,000 to $71,000 level. And yeah, that way I'm going to be maximizing my profits. But since the funding rates, like you can see right here, are still negative, it means that the majority of the traders are still trading short, and that just makes it for me only more and more attractive to actually stay in my long position. And there are a lot of bottom signals, if you would ask me, in this market right now. So first of all, we can see that actually the fees on Ethereum are extremely low, and that means that the sentiment is just extremely bearish, and that just also makes it even more bullish for me, in my opinion. So yeah, interesting to be seeing right now what is playing out. Also, we can see that, of course, Bitcoin had that 20 to 23% correction, and like we have seen in this entire bull market so far, this looks to be the new standard, and that was, of course, also one of the reasons why I opened my long position right here. And I explained it step by step to all my followers out there. So please do not get fooled by that. So things are lining up all together. Of course, we see that weekly hammer candle. And yes, some are saying right now, but we're creating that bearish MACD on the weekly time frame. But just remember, back in the days, while we were in the beginning of the bull market, we also saw such a fake out. And the MACD on the weekly time frame crossed bearish right here, and boom, what happened? We created hammer candle, and the massive Bitcoin bull market started from off that point onwards. So yeah, these things can happen. Of course, sometimes we have seen that once the MACD crossed bearish, we go even lower, but you have to understand that not always necessarily that has to be happening. So things are looking quite okay in my opinion, especially if I'm going to be looking at the sentiment. It is extremely bearish, and that just makes me even more bullish. And with this falling wedge breakout, I think that we're most likely going to be seeing that continuation towards the upside. And whenever we do break above the $70,000 region, which I just explained earlier in the video, if we break above this region right here in the market, this 70 to 71k region, this red box that I've drawn right here, if we break above this region, I believe that we're most likely going to be flying up to $70,000 very, very quickly. And all we saw right now in the imminent short term is a slight little fake out, but as soon as we do break above the box right here, we're going to be seeing that continuation towards 66.5k. And if we break above 66.5k, the next target is going to be 70 to 71k. So I am extremely bullish on Bitcoin. I think that we're not going anywhere lower from off this point, but we're just going to be going higher. But of course, I've got my take profits ready and set up right now. So make sure to have your own strategy as well. But of course, I want to be sharing everything I have done, because of course, I've also showed you how I'm open to my trades. So of course, I understand a lot of people are following me, and I want to be just exactly sharing what I'm doing. So this was it for me in today's update video. Thanks so much for watching, and see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.